Recently, we were engaged in a project in Bangladesh with entrepreneurs, most of them having small enterprises. Our brief was to find out three things in them with a view to design and develop strategic roadmap to rejuvenate entrepreneurship. The three elements we tried to identify were presence of entrepreneurial mindset, creditworthiness, and trainability. Our analysis revealed a common pattern among all the samples. While over 70% had some form of entrepreneurial orientation present in them, over 50% of them had no worthwhile creditworthiness. And even more surprisingly, over 95% had very rigid mindset for learning new things. What are the implications then for entrepreneurship? Let me discuss these in this podcast. First of all, let me state that merely having a desire or ambition, if you will, to start a venture and grow and becoming an entrepreneur has very little to do with actually becoming an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurial constellation includes several attributes, most of them non-cognitive in nature, that need to consciously manifest in full. Some of the noteworthy attributes are networking skills, assertiveness and firmness in dealing with others, empathy, drive to succeed, growth mindset, metacognition, passion for work, resilience, and grit, and above all, the disciplined and honest ways of working as manifested in their conscientiousness is what makes the business grow. But all this comes to a naught if the openness to new experiences is not there. How do we ensure that this attribute, openness to new experiences, can be sustained, nurtured, developed? People who tend to be high in this trait of openness are more willing to embrace new things, fresh ideas, and absorb novel experiences. They are open minded and approach new things with curiosity and tend to seek out novelty. They tend to pursue new adventures, experiences, and creative endeavors. They're also very good at thinking about and making connections between different concepts and ideas. Whereas people who are low on openness, on the other hand, tend to prefer routines, traditions, and embrace familiarity. They approach new things with great caution and prefer consistency. Individuals who are very low on the trait of openness are often seen as being rigid, cynical, and close minded. They may find it difficult to cope up with changes. Individuals who are low in this trait may pass on or may pass up opportunities to try new things, including changes that could lead to professional advancement. Rather than move to a new place to go to a different job, school, or make career change to find a more rewarding job, they may stick with what is routine and familiar. In other words, status quo becomes the operating style. A rigid mind is a closed mind. A closed mind is a cynical mind. It does not accept that it has new things to learn. Any new suggestion is frowned upon or rejected. It views everything from a prejudged and biased frame of reference. The outcome is a false sense of superiority, self delusion, and a stunted growth, if you will. Many entrepreneurs have failed mainly because of their inability to learn from their mistakes. Is there a way we can make the mind more porous, more open? I will rephrase this with the term entrepreneurial curiosity and pose this question if this can be triggered in a budding entrepreneur. Let me spend some time explaining what I consider as entrepreneurial curiosity. Entrepreneurial curiosity is a positive emotional motivational system oriented towards investigating the entrepreneurial framework. Why? To learn new tasks related to entrepreneurship and to incorporate new experiences in order to improve business. Entrepreneurial curiosity is an aroused emotional state of an entrepreneur that tends to occur after being confronted with a novel, complex, or ambiguous stimulus in order to find new opportunities and expand their business. Entrepreneurial curiosity is a powerful generator of business ideas. Successful ideas are often a balance between novelty and familiarity, new and different, new and different concepts, enough to capture attention, but familiar enough to not to be misunderstood or rejected out of hand as too radically different. With observing society and their environments, entrepreneurs with higher levels of entrepreneurial curiosity are able to distinguish business ideas which have a potential for growth on market from those which are not perspective. As nebulous as the concept of curiosity is, we can readily connect its importance to business success or business outcome, if you will. We know there is a thread that leads from curiosity to creativity. However, as we unravel that thread, there are some interesting discoveries. What are those discoveries? The IBM Institute for Business Value conducted a survey of 1500 C-suite level executives and asked, what do you really need in leadership today? And what was the answer? We need creativity. Understanding that creativity and curiosity go hand in hand, Francisco Gino, professor at Harvard Business School, conducted a survey of over 500 CLOs and found that CLOs discourage curiosity because the company would be harder to manage and disagreements would arise, slowing productivity and execution. A recent McKinsey leadership survey stated leadership values and requires employees who question the status quo. However, research shows that management intentionally or unintentionally suppress creativity efforts to mitigate risk. The questions then become, how can we square off this discovery, especially when it seems all forces are working against each other? How do we make aware to the prospective or budding entrepreneur that his inability to be open to new experiences is stifling his progress? My experience over the years suggests that non-threatening feedback is the best way to make him or her aware. Here are two more action plans that I have found might help in increasing our openness to absorb new experiences. The first one is be open to feedback about missteps and mistakes. This can happen when we sensitize and increase our listening ability. We need to be able to learn from our mistakes and missteps. When we feel ashamed, concerned, guilty, or even angry about our missteps and mistakes, it makes it much more harder to learn from them. Make yourself accountable and hold others accountable. Holding yourself and others to be respectful and open to each other is the foundation of inclusion and is the opposite of a cancel culture or calling people out. Accountability is more likely to arise within teams when everyone on the team understands what the goals are, how to get there, what each person can do, and each person has been deputized to help. In other words, a culture of openness, mutuality, and trust will help an entrepreneur to develop this entrepreneurial curiosity, which incidentally is the first step towards becoming a full blown entrepreneur. Thank you very much.